What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It is Thursday, and we're in here tonight. Gonna have we're gonna have a little bit of a history lesson tonight, and was watching some YouTube about I don't know. It's been off and on now for a hot minute, and I saw all these great videos about all these old, early U.S. Coins, and then I realized I looked down and saw who created them. And it's our good buddy Mike from Metal Detecting North Carolina. So anybody that's got early American currency questions, anybody that's got any questions about coins in general, I know Mike's not a bona fide expert, but boy, he sure put a lot of time and effort into the research that it takes to make videos like he's making. So be sure to check out his channel. Somebody post his link. So that you can go over there and see all these videos that he has made, because the narration is great, production value is on time, and it's a really good series for the metal detecting community, because one of these days you may need to figure out what a coin is, and you might have to go back to Mike's videos to figure them out. I'm going to go ahead and grab Mike, bring him up. We're going to run through some of the chat real quick and get started. But without further ado, our good friend Mike from Metal Detecting North Carolina.
Hello, everybody.
What's up, dude?
How you doing, Shane? It's been a while since you interviewed me.
It is. You know what? I don't even know that. Have you ever? Were you on here before?
I was on here like a couple of years ago.
Man, I was going back through my archives and I couldn't find one where you were on here. So I knew that I thought you had come up like on an open mic or something, but I don't remember getting a chance to talk to you. But anyway, I'm going to say hi to a few people really quick, and then we will get started. There's our good friend Bill, Miss Georgianne, Johnny Smallpepper. And I will say that Patrick Makes Stupid People Famous was in here really early when I set this thing up today, and his chat disappeared. And there's our guest of honor right there, folks. JSP, what's up, brother? County seat, Ken and T, what's happening? What is up, Mr. Kevin? How are you? 5280 Adventures, what's up? Thank you for stopping by. Hello, Miss Jean. Mark, Senile Detectorist, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. There's Patrick. He was in here early on, though. And we're going to fly down a little further here. Carrie Holder-Reed, what's up? Marty Verstal, sir. What is up, Treasure Tom? Thirsty Thursday sounds good. Cheers. I wish I had an adult beverage today, but it's going to be sour apple body armor tonight. So, and it is sour. Rocky Fry, what up, bro? Nice to see you.
While you're doing the intro, I'll be right back.
Yes, sir. I'll finish this thing up here. Relic Reaper Don in the house. How are you, sir? Silver Seller, welcome. These new channels that are white in here, folks, be sure you check them out. We definitely want to support everybody that comes in here. So if you don't know somebody, give them a little bit of love. If they hang out for a little while, we'll make them a mod and they can check you all out as well. Hey, Miss Angie, how are you, my dear? Look at this. 12 more days, Angie. 12 more days and we will be on our way to Waverly. That is going to be a good time. Let's see what else we got going here. I think Happy Bears is in the house. Little Penny Coins. Papa Rouse, 47 months, 4 years, brother. Thank you so much.
Good to see you, Papa Roo.
Robinson Exotic Reptiles. I don't know if old boy's selling any of his snakes, but he's got some beautiful ball pythons.
They'll go good with my Alice Cooper Halloween outfit.
Heck yeah. Get you a full-grown python. It wasn't that long ago. I got to see Alice Cooper. He was opening up on the Motley Crue farewell tour, if that tells you anything.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a good show. He held it together pretty well. What's up, Brian? Good to see you. Silver Wishes, hello. FL Thunder digging with Rob. We got Sunday morning royalty in the house. Man, I'm telling you what, it's going to go quick here. So I'm going to get a little further down. J-Man from Metal Sharks. How are you, good sir? Trowel Diggs, what's going on? I swear I'm going to go faster. I like to get to the bottom, so we do that. I'm assuming that's Miss Patty D. Welcome. Mr. Jeff Brewer is in the house. Hello, good sir. CDG Detecting, welcome. I think I'm going to stop there and get everything rolling. What is up, Hunter? Welcome. Thank you for stopping by tonight, checking it out. All right, Mike. What on earth prompted you to go through all these early American coins and make a video?
Great question. I was going to do a piece on something else related to it, but these came before that, so I thought it was only prudent to start at the very beginning. And then there was a beginning to the beginning, so that took me all the way back to 1652. When actually it took me all the way back to 1616 when the pre-colonial coins started popping up in the New World. And the 1616s were the Bermuda Summer Islands issues, and which is related to the Americas. And then the 1652 was the Massachusetts silvers, which the NE coins and the pine tree shillings and oak tree shillings. And I believe that Charlie from Not Thursday, Stealth Diggers, he found one, a 1652 pine tree or oak tree shilling. That was pretty cool. That was some years ago, though. He also found a USA bar cent. And watching these people find these, I'm like, I'm just going to make of all these coins. And I made a long form video on it. And I just basically touched on the wave tops of the history of some of them. And the long form video didn't really seem to do that well. It got like fewer than 300 views. So I was like, I'm just going to chop it up and do a short video on each one.
Well, yeah, they definitely caught my attention. Where did you learn your narration skills? Come on, did you have to practice up for that? How many retakes did it take to make those videos?
Sometimes, well, I was a Army instructor for 10 years, so I can talk. But when I do the narrations, I would write out a script and I would read it out loud. And if it didn't sound right, like it was naturally spoken, then I would edit it and then reread it again. And then, of course, when you're reading something, you mispronounce a word or something, and then you got to go back and chop it up and edit it out, So the editing takes longer than the video is, obviously, that from experience. And some of them, it's tough to take enough material to make a 10-minute video and condense it down into 3 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about the mintage of an early American coin, what kind of pieces of information about that coin do you leave out? I mean, most everything about it should be pertinent to its history, right?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of the political stuff that went on in the background with some of these coins, especially the Fujio cents and the Nova Constellatio pattern coins, when they tried to go from there was a dual monetary system going on in the colonial times. There was the pound, which was used primarily with the copper coins, the English pound, which had 240 pennies to a pound. And then the silver coins was based on the Spanish milled dollar, which, of course, the piece of 8, right? It was divided into 8 bits. And so that's what the silver was based off of. And it was a challenge for our founding fathers to figure out how to move into a common decimal system, and the coin failed. The Nova Constellatio failed because it never got out of the committee that was assigned to consider it, because of a lot of turmoil in the wrongdoing and shadiness of the Congress at the time. But we eventually passed the Coinage Act of 1792, which created the U.S. Mint, and now we have the cent, which is a 1% of $1 instead of 1 penny, which is 1/240th of a pound.
Yeah, man. You could probably just sit back and spew facts from the 1600s on. Treasure Tom said, "A good job, Mike. I like these coin vids, and I have a questions for you and Shane. Just how rare are Spanish silver real royal stikes?" I got 1/2 real, and I'm pleased to have it, but I don't know what the royal stikes is.
I don't know what the Stikes is either. It's the first time hearing of it, but I'll find out. But I intentionally left out the reals because it's a Spanish issue, which came primarily from Mexico City, Peru, and Venezuela, and Central South America, and it was never intended exclusively for the colonies. That's why I didn't include
it. Yeah, Spanish reals. They seem to show up just about everywhere. I've seen them be found just about everywhere in the United States, so that's kind of cool. Mine, however, is completely burnt and melted, and I can barely make it out. So
it's still a half real or a real. It's still a coin.
It is still my half real, and I was just glad that I could identify it. Of all these coins that you've, I guess the question is that there's a lot of different forms of currency that was used in the early colonial America, and I think the reason was and I think I've learned from you a little bit, was to make sure that everybody could break down things into change. But did local areas create their own currency too, like tokens, store tokens, and stuff that was passed off as regular? Because I know tokens got involved here at some point. How did that all happen?
When there was a shortage of what they call royal coinage, that was made by Great Britain and they shipped over here for use. When there was a shortage of half pennies and pennies, then a lot of businesses made their own store card tokens or store coupons, if you will, and those became popular. And one of the popular ones would be like the Mott tokens, and the Talbot Elliman Lee tokens that just released a couple days ago. And the funny thing about the Talbot Elliman Lee tokens is that in 1795, the U.S. Mint had trouble acquiring blanks, planchets for the half cents. And there was an excess of Talbot Elliman Lee tokens. So he sold a bunch of the tokens to the U.S. Mint, and they didn't have the weight to make the cent, but they would cut them down to the weight of a half cent and then overstamp them. And there was a lot of undertype and some of the 1795 and 1797 half cents before the United States started purchasing blank half cent planchets from Great Britain. So it does. There's a lot of store card tokens, and a lot of them, some of them I haven't covered yet, like the Northwest Company tokens, the North American tokens, Middleton tokens, the New York Theater tokens. All those the New York Theater tokens belongs to a family called Condor tokens, which is merchant tokens that originated in Great Britain. But they still found their way over to the United States and were circulated. and some of them never really made it to the United States. But since like the New York Theater token, it was mentioned on the coin that it's included in the Colonial Coin series.
Well, there's our good friend Ken joining us tonight. What do you think the most beautiful coin design that are found in the U.S.?
Oh, the most beautiful design coin in the U.S., in my opinion, I want to say the Gobrecht dollar. It's a hard to find one in the lowest grade. I think it's like $35,000 for one of them. And my second one is the St. Gaudens, but the Gobrecht dollar just has an amazing image of an eagle flying in a field of stars.
Yeah.
It's just an amazing looking coin to me.
I don't know. My favorite looking coin is the one that I just found. I usually
that too.
To be honest though, whenever I look at a coin and just for the pure look of it, I really like the 2 cent piece is probably my favorite coin. I just love the way it looks. I love the size is a little different. It just every time I look at one, it seems to stand out. I like the 2 cent coin and I like the trimes, even though I've never found a trime.
Yeah, me and a couple of friends were out at that cotton field, and the guy who owns that house, that 1803 house, he found an 1852 trime, and then that was a nice coin. And then I was around the same vicinity, and I got a scrap of aluminum signal, and I did a live dig, and mine was also an 1852 trime.
Wow!
So there are 2 trimes found in one day. And then the next day, Craig was out there, and he found an 1851 trime, but it was bent, but it was still a trime. And I was like, don't try to bend it back. If you bend it back, it's going to snap in two.
Every time. Yeah. When you find something out of the ground, try not to mess with it, because if you're like me, you'll break it. Would you say a coal company token script as taken from the ideas of tokens? As taken from the idea. I don't know, but I've got and Angie and Rick are in West Virginia, so they know about these coal companies, the script for the company store. I do got a really nice coal token here as well, but don't know that much about them.
I've never found a company, private company token for that purpose, but there is a story behind like the coal company tokens, and not just in West Virginia, but also going all through the coal belt, all the way through Missouri and into Wyoming and Montana, that these people would set up their coal mines and they would own the town. They built the town. You know, they spent the money to build all the buildings and all the houses and the hospitals and the stores and everything. So the town was basically theirs. And the workers, they didn't want to pay them in real money because they looked at it like we're losing revenue. So they paid them in script that was only redeemable at a given store, you know, at their own company store. And that's just their way of keeping these people employed, even though it might have been against their will.
Yeah, I mean, if you can make them go out there and work the mine and then make them spend the money at your store, that's a double win. That's kind of like modern taxation, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Rob. I owe my soul to the company store. I owe my soul to the company store.
Yeah. So speaking of singing, have you thought about singing any of your narration for your videos, since you do that so well?
Singing a narration? No, not. I haven't thought about doing that, but I do have a couple of more parody songs I'm working on. Yeah.
The brain is always working.
So yeah, I've been doing so many short videos that I've kind of like neglected the long form videos. I got a couple of long ones I got to put out. So this coming Monday, I'll probably be participating in the Monday Digs with a video or two.
Well, there you go. So
Or combined video.
if Mike joins us for Monday Digs this week, I have a really nice slot slated because we're going to be one creator short, so that'll be good. I'll have
Okay.
that filled right up. We're going to have a good week this week on Monday. So be sure you get it done this week instead of waiting.
Absolutely.
So,
Ken, I would love to hear your lyrics, man. Send me I was thinking about, Ken just gave me a great idea and that I was thinking about, but I kind of forgot. I could have it like a subject and then everybody can contribute a lyric or something, like kind of like when I do a song and then I would troll the internet community, the coin community, metal detecting community for, I need a 10-second clip of finding a skeleton key, or I need to get a clip of a 1965 quarter for a Cladman video or something like that, And people did for a while there, and then it kind of dropped off. But
yeah, I don't ever throw away videos, so I have these huge external hard drives, and I save all my footage. I take them off the computer hard drive, but I put them on these big external drives, and I plug them in when I want to get them. So I don't ever throw away a clip. So
I don't either. I got all my original clips. I got from when I started YouTube, and even some pictures of coins that I had from before I started recording for YouTube.
Yeah, but back to the topic at hand. We talked about one of your videos, and I recommend that everybody go over to Metal Detecting North Carolina and watch this series of videos because they are done very, very well. He put a lot of time and effort into them. But tell everybody about the Spanish coin minted in America.
The Texas Hola. That is the first Spanish coin that was minted in what is now the United States. Actually, the only foreign coin that was minted in what is now the United States. There was a shortage of small coins, as common back in those days, especially around the settlement of San Fernando de Bejar, which is present-day San Antonio. And around that area, if you look on Google Maps, you'll see a lot of old Spanish missions. If you're ever in that area, that's where the Alamo is. There's a lot of old Spanish missions and stuff like that in the area that you could check out. But the Spanish Holas were found in 1959 when a guy was doing an irrigation project trying to tap some water from the San Antonio River. And he found like 60 of them with a metal detector. He found some of them on the surface. He called a friend, and believe it or not, in 1959, they had metal detectors. They weren't very good, but they had them. And they found a cache of about 60 of them, which means that if he was using 1959 technology, imagine what you could find with today's technology.
Wow.
And those coins go for, I think the last one sold for $22,000.
And he found 60 of them?
He found 60 of them.
Wow. Oh, that's some money right there.
Yeah. See? But they're so crude. They're so ugly, but that makes them so awesome,
What's up, Dennis? Nice to see you. So
now I'm sure everybody who lives in Texas is going to go and look for the Texas Holas, and I really hope you find one. I really do. Just a couple of pieces of advice. Don't trespass. And don't go on the national park where they're protected on the Spanish mission grounds. You can go into the river itself, but don't go on the National Park Service land because you will find yourself in big trouble. So stay within the law. I hope you find something.
So was that coin minted just in copper, or was it silver, or what was composition?
They were in like a coppery bronze. But they had the value stamped on it 1/2, and it didn't say 1/2 of what, but it's assumed it was a half real, which had the equivalent value of a modern day nickel.
Wow. So a half real was a modern day nickel.
But these two governors were at odds with each other, and they really hated each other. So the first one to come out with the Holas in 1817, when he was outed and replaced by another governor, he hated him so much that he recalled the 1817 Holas, had them destroyed or buried or thrown away, and then replaced him with his own 1818 ones.
So, do you are you on your computer or your phone today?
I'm on my computer.
Do you have pictures of some of these coins you could show everybody that hasn't watched your videos?
Absolutely.
All you have to do is just share them up, and I'll bring them up. But this one here was my favorite video so far of the series for sure, because I didn't know that coin even existed. So,
Oh, the Hola?
yeah, I had no clue.
Oh, yeah, I love that coin. That's a great one. Let me see. Texas Hola would be. Yeah, I love that coin. I didn't know that coin existed either until I started doing some research on it, and I was like, "Wow, that's amazing."
The things that you don't know until you sit back and try to learn a little bit.
Okay, I got a couple of them that I'll show you. There's a 17, and they are in terrible shape, but
Of course they are.
but they sure are worth a lot of money. That's for darn sure. Okay.
I mean, if they're going for $22K a piece, just give me a couple of them so I can take a year off.
Exactly. Okay, let me do that. And now they're on my desktop. And let me figure out how to share the screen.
The little button with the plus.
Share screen. And how do I go to? Oh, I got to open it in a tab. I don't know how to share a picture. I can email them to you real quick, and you can show them.
Sure.
Okay, that'll probably work a lot faster because I haven't worked on StreamYard for so long. I can't even figure out how to share a God blessed photograph.
How long has it been since you've done live streams? It's been a while.
It's been a while, 5 years or more.
Yeah. So, hey, just for everybody's information, while Mike is sharing, I wanted to let everybody know that our good friend Randy Riddle has got a book coming out all about metal detecting and amazing stories behind the finds, and he'd love to have your help. Do you have a great metal detecting story? Maybe your best or most meaningful find, a surprising discovery, a piece of history, or even a funny moment out in the field. If you'd be interested in sharing your story and possibly being featured in the book, drop a comment below or send me a message. And please include a few details about your find and what has made it special to you. Let's share the stories that makes this hobby so incredible. Thanks in advance. I can't wait to hear what you all have uncovered. So that's Randy Riddle, Riddle's Relics. And so, I see it. If you got a story, hit him up. I'm sure he's still in the chat somewhere. There he is right there. Yeah, I did see your 1776 Spanish Real. That's a great year of a coin to find. I would love to have a 1776. But first coin on there is the 1817 version of the Hola. What is distinct about this coin?
That was one of them that was dug up by that guy doing the irrigation project. And it says on the front, it says AD 1817, which is pretty cool. On the back, it's really tough to see, but there's a very faint Lone Star. This is the coin that gave Texas the Lone Star name.
Wait, so they called it the Lone Star State because of this
You'll
coin?
see it in the other coin, the star on the back.
All right. We'll go to the next picture then.
The next picture shows, $28,000. Sorry, I was a little off.
Oh, it was not 22, 28. Let's see. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you can see how crude they are. It just makes them more
Yeah.
awesome in my eye. The JAG is the designer's initials. The 1/2 sideways is the denomination in the 1818.
Yeah. So since we've made it a little while and we've weeded out some of the early people that stop by the stream and don't want to hang out, just want to let everybody know that Mike has graciously donated a channel challenge token to give away to some lucky winner in here tonight. So I'm going to load up the giveaway tool for later, and I'm going to put something in there for a comment. Please comment this to if you want to be entered.
If you already have a challenge coin, please give somebody else a chance to get
Yeah.
one. Because I know there's some people in here who already have one. Shane, if you go to the next one, it shows the star, the 5-pointed star on the back. It's odd that this coin is the one that pretty much gave the Texas the Lone Star name. That's what they got it from, the 1 star.
So the car.
That's just an assumption, but it's a good one. Another one is that, Texas was alone and the U.S. wouldn't help them fight against the Spanish. And that's, they were just a lone star fighting for their own freedom. And that's how they retain the right to become their own country if they want to.
Well, there you go, everybody. Type MDNC in the chat if you'd like to have a chance to be entered and to win Mike's challenge coin. You will not see me because I got my own.
You won't see me either because I had them made.
Yeah, won't see Mike in here trying to. So there's a couple people that are off the list. So definitely recommend everybody get their entry in MDNC.
There's another cool coin that I got to share with you that's one of my favorites. It's a beautiful coin, and it's one of the most underrated coins, I think. And where's the picture of that? There it is. Oops, let me see. Yeah, let me move that one and this one to the desktop. Copy here. All right. So now I'm going to pull those down and add in this.
What's up, Larry? No problem, Randy. Sharing is caring, brother. We do everything we can to help each other out. I think that's the key of being a good community. All right, here we go.
This is the Brasher doubloon. And it was made in New York by Ephraim Brasher. The one that you see here is cut down a little bit, and that makes it a half doubloon. That's the only one there is, and that's in the Smithsonian Institution. It shows the sun rising over the mountains with the water in the foreground and Brasher underneath. And if you go to the next one, it shows the eagle with the Ephraim Brasher stamp on it. And it's a very beautiful coin for how old as it is, for 1789.
Now, was this coin made over another coin? Is that why it's cut off on the edges, or was it made smaller?
He cut it on the edges to reduce the weight so it would be a half real or a half, not a escudo. It's about the weight. It's about the weight of a 8 escudos piece, a gold 8 escudos piece, but the cut down one made it a half doubloon. And I'll show you a picture of the full one. And a lot of his coins were they're just beautiful coins, man. I swear to goodness. And they are not cheap.
Yeah, what does something like that go for?
I think the last one went for, I think it's over $1 million, 1.7 million, something like that.
Can I have one, please? Oh, wait.
Sure, I got a few.
Listen, all I need is one. I can go off and just dig holes every day.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yep, and all these images are open source, and and I got a long list of sources, including the National Museum of American History, the Smithsonian, the National Archives, U.S. Mint, APMEX, PCGS, NGC, Stacks and Bowers, Heritage Auctions, Gray Sheet, and the list goes on. But well, I tell you, Heritage Auctions, a lot of expensive coins pass through their hands. Woof.
I'm telling you, I've seen the name so many times out there. How much time do you have invested in this video collection that you've made?
Oh, to make one video, it probably takes about 4 hours, sometimes more, because I start with the coin, and let's say, for example, the Matchins Mills counterfeit series, and I would just start doing research on Matchins Mills, and I would just copy the text and I would reword it. I wouldn't use it verbatim, but I would reword it and write my own script, and I would read it, and I have to keep it under 3 minutes, and it's tough sometimes. So sometimes I'm reading a little bit fast because I have so much information I want to pack in. But then sometimes I have to read it more than once, or my voice doesn't sound quite right, and I have to wait a day or two and drink a lot of water and try again.
Yeah, I gotta say, so there's a Spanish coin that was minted in Texas. What other unique coins from different areas is in one of your videos that we may not know about?
The elephant tokens. There's a couple different types of elephant tokens. One's called the Carolina tokens, and then the American plantations tokens. The elephant tokens you would think comes from Africa, but it doesn't. It was made for the Carolinas, and I'll show you an example of that. And those are a pretty interesting piece of pre-colonial. There's a lot of different ones that I learned so much. Let me see, where is it? There it is, elephant token. Let me see, Carolina token. Yeah, there it is. There's a Carolina one and the elephant token. Put those on the desktop. Boop. Okay. Okay, so elephant tokens is an interesting one. It's not that great to look at, but it's an interesting token for being 1694.
Wow.
And I would sure like to have one.
Yeah, me too. I'd like to have any. I'd take any of them. Yeah, silver. I love old currency too. Oh, wow.
Yep, it says God preserve the Carolinas, and that's a regular strike. And it looks like it's a plain Jane coin, but my goodness, those things are not cheap. Let me see.
Yes, I suspect you're gonna pay for just about any piece of relevant U.S. history. Oh, wow.
There are some, believe it or not, that are really affordable, like the Connecticut coppers. If you just want to get started in the colonial coins, just to say you have one, the colonial Connecticut coppers are worth it. You know, a few hundred dollars, depending on the grade. And there's also the Massachusetts cents. You know, this half cents and cents. Those are affordable.
Yeah, I like
the. Let me see. elephant token went for, oh, that's not right.
What you looking for?
I'm looking for the price of the value of a 1794 elephant token. Or 1694.
1694 elephant token.
Can you imagine? Okay, they range from $1,500 to over $100,000, depending on the condition and the rarity.
My word, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
I love to collect stuff, but man, I'm telling you.
But you know what's funny though is that as rare as a coin is like this, there's still a chance that somebody with a metal detector can find one.
Sure. Well, that's
like
another reason.
Even something as simple as the Albany church penny, and those things are like $20,000 a piece if you can find one. And it's a uniface token that just has the words church penny on it. And there was only 1,000 of them made, and they were over stamped on worn down British coppers or something like that. They were just stamped on there, and they're worth a lot just because of the the association to the colonies and everything. And the church was tired of getting questionable coppers, counterfeits, and things like that. So they had 1,000 of these Albany church pennies made and offered them to the congregation at the rate of 12 per shilling. And of course, 12 per shilling, 20 shillings per pound, which equals 240 pennies per 240 pennies per pound at the time. And those are interesting. But I'm going to show you some of these coins right here that are. I love these coins right here. These are the Nova Constellatio pattern coins that was the first ones to be considered for the decimal currency of the United States. But unfortunately, it didn't make it that far. What a shame. But I personally think they're ugly, and I'm kind of glad that he didn't.
Okay, well, I think all the historical coins are pretty nice, but if they are ugly, then I would definitely call them out. What do you get?
Sometimes, I don't know. Sometimes the ugly ones are good.
I like that.
So it just says the Liberty and Justice 1783, and that's a 5-unit coin, 5% of 1 of 1,000, right?
Is that 5% of 240?
No, it wasn't. It was they're trying to go to a decimal system and move away from the pound and the Spanish mill dollar. So they tried to find a common ground between them and find something that they could use. And it wound up eventually being the cent. And 10 years later, obviously in 1793, when the first cents came on.
Wow, that's pretty. I like it. I like anything that says 1783 on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now the 500, the 100 and the 500 are, and the 1,000 one that you're going to see is silver.
Right.
And the 500 and the 1,000 one, which you're going to show next, is they were given to Thomas Jefferson, who gave them to the director of the mint, and the director of the mint, or the director of finance, kept him in his writing desk until his death. And that's the condition they're in when they found them. Now they're sitting at the Smithsonian Institution, because they're the only ones in existence.
Man.
So there's a lot of historical pieces, man. I've learned so much doing these videos. It's been a lot of fun, to tell you the truth.
So when you start researching for these coins being made, what was your best book resource that you had?
The first place I go is usually the National Archives. I go to the Smithsonian Collection. The U.S. Mint doesn't really have very much on pre-colonial and colonials, but they do have some. But there's APMEX Knowledge Center, which is really good. PCGS has great imagery of the coin. So does NGC, Stacks and Bowers and Heritage, and they each have a little paragraph describing Stacks and Bowers and Heritage just describes the coin in detail, planchet flaws and things like that. Gray Sheet has, you got to be a member of Gray Sheet to see the coin, but they do have some of the values posted. The American Numismatic Society, Coin World, error references. USA Coin Book has good references in imagery. The Newman Numismatic Portal has great images of his collection, the Newman collection. That guy had an amazing collection, man.
Would you venture to say that a lot of the reproduction or counterfeit coins was made, people created them? I mean, not only just so that they had something to spend, I got it, but there wasn't a lot of coins going on back then, right? There wasn't a lot of ways to make change. Not everybody had actual money, correct?
Yeah, but a lot of times it's like matching. He was an entrepreneur of the counterfeit world. When a mint like Vermont was, their equipment broke down, he would buy the press and the dies that went with it. He would fix it and then start making his own money. And he would mule he would take like a Connecticut obverse and a Vermont reverse and mule them together because they're the two dies that only ones he had on hand at the time. Or he would make dies that would fit the political mood at the particular time and stuff like that and cash in on them, and he made a lot of money doing that. So he was of course, these days you get in serious trouble counterfeiting coins, but back then, even though they were underweight and they cheated the public thinking that they were getting a full weight coin, they didn't really seem to care because they needed the change in circulation.
I got you. So what I was trying to think about on this is that you've got this whole series of videos that's coming out. How many videos does it take to make the whole group?
47.
47 videos, and almost every one of them are right around 3 minutes.
Yeah, but there were some videos that I included like 4 or 5 different types of coins because there's not a lot of information on them. So in all, there's probably like 55 to 60 different types of colonial coins. New York, for example, they had the Octori Plebis, they had the Rosa Americana, they had the New Amsterdam Voci Populis. New York had a whole bunch of coppers come out of New York, so they can be kind of grouped together.
Yeah, everybody be sure to stop by over Metal Detecting North Carolina. Check out this series of videos. Please hit that subscribe button for Mike because Mike's a good dude. He will be on hashtag Monday Digs this week. Now I'm going to lock him in and he's going to have to finish this video. Also, if you didn't know, Mike is going to give away a challenge token today. Also, keep in mind, if you do have one already, please defer from putting in. But all you have to do is type in MDNC in the chat, and we're going to roll that out here in just a few minutes and give away one of these beautiful challenge coins, one of these absolutely stunning challenge coins, which you can't have mine. You got to take Mike's because I'm keeping mine. But we're going to roll that bad boy off here in just a few minutes.
There it is. You got to do hashtag MDNC.
No, I didn't put it in as a hashtag.
Oh, you didn't?
I did not. It's just MDNC, okay. But either way, it will work. Yeah. Randy says,
My
mine,
bad.
mine,
Sorry.
mine. These challenge coins are very well made. They are absolutely awesome. So let's get some entries in here, and hopefully here in just a few minutes, we'll roll that bad boy off.
And as soon as he rolls that, I'll put my email address in the chat, so you know who to send the send me your channel name and your real name with your mailing address, and I'll get it to you soon, and you'll have it by next week.
Randy Riddle wants to know where you had those made.
I had them made by a company called The Studio, and to have these coins made, it was to have 100 made, it was around $650.
Yeah, but you kind of like them. Now you carry the challenge coin just because you're military, right?
Yes. You know the story, the history of the challenge coin?
Sure. We're on a coin kick today.
Okay,
Let's
so
go.
let's say it originated with the Special Forces. Okay, you graduate from the Q course, you get a Yarborough knife, and then you get a challenge coin from whatever Special Forces group you belong to. Now you go into a bar and you see a group of Special Forces guys, and you have if you're the one who initiates the coin challenge, which means you take your coin and you drop it on the table. Everybody else has to produce a coin. Those who can't produce a coin buys the table around.
Uh-oh, that could get expensive.
Everybody
quick.
has their coin, then the coin initiator buys the table around. I've seen videos where guys would have a challenge coin taped to their hand, and they'd be on a halo jump 10,000 feet in the air, and they would come up to somebody and go, challenge coin. Guy would open his mouth, and the challenge coin would be in his mouth. Another guy would have it taped to his helmet. They would do a coin check in the middle of a halo jump. And those guys are nuts, man.
Absolutely. Awesome. We were in not Myrtle Beach. We were in Hilton Head Island, and we came across an old gentleman and his wife, and he sat there and he shared his stories. He was a Vietnam vet. He was from Georgia. Anyway, and it was my first run in, other than the coin you had sent me a few years back, because you had sent me one early on. And he pulled them out, and he had some of the best challenge coins. I did a video on them, but a lot of people put a lot of time and effort into having these coins made, and they come up very, very cool. I love the ones that he had. One was a yes or no, like, flip it. But he had so many good ones, and he had a great collection of them. That's why these challenge coins are so much fun.
Yeah, it is. And there's so many cool coins from a lot of different units and stuff. I got a G.I. Joe lunchbox full of challenge coins.
A G.I. Joe lunchbox. So how many challenge coins have you won off of people?
Oh, a lot. I got one from Secretary of Defense, from generals, and just different commanders. But the best one that I ever got was I was out at this place, and I was metal detecting, and an MP military police comes up, and I was like, oh no. So I put down my shovel and stuff, and I walk over to him, and I said, hey, I got permission to be here. He goes, I don't care about that. I was just wondering if you can help me find my wedding band. I go, let's go. Let's go find it. Where'd you lose it? So we go over to this area. This is restricted area, and we had to go under a fence to get there. And so it was kind of drizzling that day. And so wound up finding it in about 10 minutes. And he was so happy. He reached for his wallet, and I was like, I'm not taking your money. I found your ring. That's fine. And I'm not taking your money. And he goes, you can't come back here because the only reason you're back here is because of me. I goes, dude, I have no interest in coming back here. I'll be where you found me. Like I'm getting eaten alive by mosquitoes out here in these woods. But I got a call from him a couple days later, and he goes, "Hey, can you come by the provost marshal office?" I was like, "Sure." So I go by there, and then he says, "Hey, my commander appreciates that you didn't accept any money, but he wanted you to have this," and he gave me a challenge coin from the MPs.
That's cool.
That's
All right,
that's probably
folks.
the favorite ones that I got.
Heck yeah. The stories are always really good when the challenge coins are out. So that's really cool. Everybody, please get into the chat. Type in MDNC, Metal Detecting North Carolina. If you would like to win Mike's challenge coin tonight, it is a beautiful channel coin with, I think that's the state of North Carolina is on one side. No, it isn't. This one's different. Yeah, we'll just show it. The beauty of it is it's right there. And then the back has the state on it, I think. I haven't looked at it in a minute. It does. Has the state on it and a shovel and a metal detector.
Yep. You got it.
It can be yours if your name is in here. So we're going to roll off here in just a second. MDNC.
Only 100 made, and you're going to be the lucky recipient of one of them.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
So you'll have 1%.
I got my 2026 design coming out soon.
Uh-oh. Got to get one of those. All right. 44 entries. We got 52 total in chat. Let's roll this thing off. Good luck, everybody. You have a grand total of 1 minute to claim it in the chat. If you don't claim it, I will re-roll it. Good luck, everybody. MDNC in the chat. 3, 2, 1. Good luck. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Trevor, 513 Diggs.
All right.
Trevor, you still in the chat?
Congratulations.
I'm going to get my clock rolling.
There he is. See it. All right.
Yeah. Trevor, do you have one, sir?
He does not.
Oh, poor guy.
He does now.
He does now. Now
Yep.
You can have Mike's. Mike's going to put up his email address if he hasn't already somewhere, and I just missed it.
All right. I just posted again.
There it is right there. There's Mike's email, Trevor. Be sure to hit him up so he can send you out that beautiful challenge coin. Now we're brothers because we both got one. We were brothers beforehand, but now we're brothers with the same challenge coin.
You know what I'm going to do, Shane? Since I skipped 2024.
Yeah.
There was no coin in 2024, so and my runs have been 100 coins each. So 2026 is going to have a run of 100 coins, but I'm also going to get a run of 2024s made of 50 coins. So that'll be the key date in the series.
There you go. The 2024 by Metal Detecting North Carolina will be the key date. That's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, there's people got poker chips, and those are cool. I got a large collection of poker chips too. I like those. And then there's some that let me get one real quick. It's people who have these engravers and they do like Scrapping with Grandpa sent me this.
Scrapping with Grandpa.
Yeah, and it's a blank coin, and this was made by a gentleman up in Virginia with his laser burner thing.
Was that really Greg?
Good quality. Kind of like yours, Shane, but yours has a lot more detail on it.
Yeah. Did Greg make that too?
Greg, yes, that's his name. Yes.
Scorpion Metals.
Correct.
Yep, because that YouTube symbol looks very, very similar to the one that's on the back of mine.
Yep. Yeah. So Scrapping with Grandpa gave me one of these with a bar of copper that weighs. That thing's heavy. It weighs. This bar of copper he sent me 307 grams. And it just says Scrapping with Grandpa YouTube on it. A pretty thick too, pretty thick chunk of copper. And it's all copper that he scrapped out of wires and things, you know. He can tear down an air conditioning unit like nobody's business. That guy he does some work. And he earns every dime that he makes.
And Scorpion Metals is a great guy. If you'd like to see it, I did an interview with him last August. He is a great guest. Check it out. He is, if you find him, he's on all the social medias, but he will make you your coins at a very nice price.
Yes.
So if you're looking to get a challenge coin or a channel coin at a very decent price, he's probably your best bet out there in the community. He ships really quick. Good guy.
And I want to say thank you for everybody who came in, and thank you for participating in the chat and asking questions. I answered as many as I can. And go check out the video series. There's a playlist in my channel, and it's called U.S. Colonial Coins, and it has all my coins in there, all the videos in it. And don't forget that Monday Digs is coming up, and it's going to be fun, as always.
You're going to be in it this week. Mike used to be a regular. I mean, you know, he was putting out videos all the time, but these little videos here seem to be sucking up a lot of time.
Now I'm on a contract job. I'm in Florida, and in August I'm being reassigned back to North Carolina. So I'll be putting out videos on the regular. My job here has been keeping me so busy, traveling so much. I've been to Missouri a couple of times, Colorado. Shane, I got to share this with you real quick. Might go to overtime for a minute, but just be 5 seconds.
All right.
I was on a work trip. I had my metal detector with me, and I was transporting some gear over to Colorado. On my trip, I passed through Dodge City, Kansas, down on Front Street. They had it tore out. The whole Front Street area was, all the pavement was removed. I stopped in, and I found the Historical Society of the museum, and I said, look, I'm a professional metal detectorist, and I just want to help save some history. I'll give you everything that I find. I just want to metal detect in that area before it's repaved and all the history under the ground is gone forever. I go, I'll make minimal hole. You can have somebody with me to document the find. I'll hand it over to them immediately. I don't care what it is, a piece of scrap, a bullet, or whatever, but just to metal detect at Dodge City, Kansas would have been a dream, but they said no. Yeah. And I was like, come on, man. You know, this is like a once in a lifetime thing. You know, the road on Front Street in Dodge City gets tore up. Last time that ground saw daylight was probably when it was paved in the 30s. So this just had layer and layer and layer upon concrete on top of it.
Oh, yeah. Anytime they tear up a sidewalk or something like that, especially on these old towns, you got it. If you get an opportunity, get out there and metal detect while the contractors are gone in the afternoon or evening. Make sure you get your chance, because it's a great place to find old coins for sure.
It is.
Why don't we go one more coin out of your video collection, whether you've made the video yet or not, that you want to talk about and feature, and then we will wrap up today and call it a day. But I do think that, there's room to have you back here in about a month or two, and we'll do this again and go through a little bit more.
The one I want to talk about is a lesser known piece. It's called the Washington Pocket Piece. This was made exclusively, one of a kind piece made for George Washington. And it was intended for his inauguration. And it was a piece that, let me find an image of it. Come on, where are you? Oh, there it is. Ooh, that's a beautiful coin, isn't it? Sonny Guns. Okay, let me, okay, the Washington coin. I'll show you the right there and right there. I'll move these over. These were made for George Washington. This is a one-of-a-kind piece made just for George Washington. And it's a beautiful coin. He had it in his pocket, and he had it in his pocket until he got too sick to, to move around and everything like that just before he passed away. But it's an awesome coin, and it was owned by George Washington.
Whoa. I mean, is it gold, I guess?
It's gold. It's a gold eagle, a $10 gold piece.
Oh,
1792.
Man. Tell me that
and
ain't.
You can see from the wear on it, it's been in his pocket for a long time. So he had it on him. And all that wear didn't come from circulation. It came from George Washington himself, which makes it extra special. And that's on display they occasionally put it on display at Mount Vernon. That's where it's at. It's not in the Smithsonian. It's at Mount Vernon in Virginia.
Dude, that thing is, for as old as it is,
sick?
It's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. So we'll end it on a beautiful gold coin that was owned, and all the wear on it came from George Washington. I could see him holding it and rubbing that shield with his thumb. I could see him sitting there doing that.
Yeah, I gotta say,
piece of history. Such an awesome piece of history.
Yeah, not only find a gold coin, but find a gold coin that was touched by George Washington or made for him. That would be the proverbial icing on the cake, right?
Yes, it
Everybody
would.
finds the ultimate bucket lister, and the bonus of it is it was touched by the first president of the United States.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be really good. Hey, everybody, please take your time to stop by Metal Detecting North Carolina tonight and start watching some of those videos. I promise you that the narration is excellent. The videos are well done and put together. Whole series of them coming out. Check out Mike on Monday Digs this week. I think Mike will be on somewhere between 7:45 and 8:15. Haven't figured that out just yet, but Mike will be on there with us on Monday. If anybody has any metal detecting needs, check out westshorehobbies.com. That's mine, and me and Rob are taking care of that place right now. And if you would like a metal detector and want to get a nice deal on something, my cell phone number is on the front page of the website. Give me a call. I'll get you hooked up with the right detector. Help me support my chances to be a full-time detectorist. So that's my goal, right? To go back to working part-time. So thank you guys for that. Much love to everybody in the chat tonight. We're going to have a great week next week, but Monday Digs will be killer, having our good friend Mike on there and seeing what he brings out and watching his videos. Mike, you got any last words for everybody today?
Stay healthy, and when you're out in the woods and you're metal detecting, don't forget to look up and make sure none of that deadfall is hanging up in those trees to cause harm. Also, look in front of you. Be situational awareness, man. You got to have situational awareness all the time.
Situational awareness. That means putting your cell phone down when you're trying to walk. Much love to everybody in the chat, and I will see you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.